little fake.
Outlast is a horrible game, and I mean that as a compliment, because all it wants to do is make you feel scared and uncomfortable for the entirety of its runtime. Despite it having the questionable honour of being the first game to feature necrophilia, it's got plenty of scary and shocking moments up its sleeve. And with the release of Outlast 2, we thought now's a good time to go back and fondly remember some of them. Spoilers ahead. When you first arrive at Mount Massive Asylum, it doesn't take long to figure out that something is definitely not right. But, for a little while at least, you're able to explore with the lights on in relative safety. This is obviously just so the game can keep you reasonably calm so it can spring its very first jump scare on you in the library. The great thing about this scare is how much it proves that 90% of the horror of Outlast is in its audio. The shrieking music, the heavy breathing of protagonist Miles Upshur, it all makes an otherwise kind of timid moment utterly terrifying. And it lets you know very early on never to let your guard down. Similarly, anyone who's played Outlast will remember this moment with the wheelchair. Again, it's very early on, and you've just summoned the courage to walk past this guy once into a room full of hardened inmates watching their favourite show. You've gone in and grabbed what you needed, and you're feeling pretty confident now that you've successfully navigated your way through potential danger. And that's when it hits you.
Get them out! Please! The guys are in there!
Like we've said before, you don't let your guard down in this game, and the fact it lets you pass by safely the first time is extra sneaky. A game like Outlast is obviously remembered for its jump scares, but it's also worth remembering how good it is at building a slower, more quietly menacing sense of dread. No area is more effective at this than the courtyard. As the rain lashes down and thunder and lightning rage overhead, you have to navigate this pitch-black garden with your night vision as panic slowly starts to set in. It's so much harder to navigate these spaces than the asylum corridors, and more difficult to make sure that you aren't being sneaked up on. Which is funny because you're mostly safe here as you explore. Mostly. As small and crappy and outdated as your little camcorder is, you've come to depend on it with your life on so many occasions. And in the absence of any tools or weapons with which to fight back, it is literally all you have. As your only ally in this hellhole, I guess you could start to think of it as your very own Wilson. So, it's particularly traumatizing when you lose it in the female ward and it disappears off down into the depths. Leaving you to navigate the darkness all alone using just your own eyes and ears. It doesn't take too long until you're reunited, and just in time too. But old camcorder is never quite the same again.
Who's down there? You're not one of them, are you? Quick, get in the dumbwaiter if you want to live.
You made the right choice here, buddy.
I mean, of course Traeger would find his way into this list, as his sequence is one of the most gory and grotesque in the entire game.
Okay, here we go, arms and legs inside the car at all times.
Just when you thought you'd found a friend, one willing to save you by telling you to get in the dumbwaiter, Traeger mercilessly beats you and tortures you with the prospect of escape.
You know, I love the mountain air up here at night. You want to head out and take a stroll? Go ahead, I'll wait here. Go on, run free. I'm in no hurry. No? All right. Nose to the grindstone, I like that. Okay then, right this way.
But he does take you on a nice little tour of the facility. There's something weird about sequences like this. Even though you're wary of what's to come, the fact that the worst has happened is almost a relief in a way, and you get a nice little break from walking and hiding into the bargain.
It's understandable when people get scared. They're as like to turn to God as anything else. I mean, God died with the gold standard. We're on to a more concrete faith now. You have to rob Paul to pay Peter. There's no other way. Murder is the simplest form, but what happens when all money's gone? Well, money becomes a matter of faith. And that's what I'm here for. To make you believe. You paying attention? Don't pass out on me. There's still a lot for you to absorb. Better now, right?
Of course, then you get your fingers cut off, so, you know, pros and cons. The worst part of escaping from Traeger is probably when he finds you hiding under a bed and drags you out. There's something really repulsive and embarrassing about that. But at least we get our revenge on him in the end.
I'm not giving up on you!
Because Outlast doesn't give you any means to fight back against the asylum inmates, your most important assets are your camcorder and your own 2 legs. So long as you can run, you can survive a lot of hardships. So you can imagine that an area that costs you that ability is going to be extra stressful. In the sewers, you'll spend a lot of time wading around in waist-high water, and not only is it loud, but it's slow. Visibility is really poor too, so you can just end up wandering in circles as you try to find the right path out. And of course, this is the perfect time for our old buddy to turn up looking for us. Right, as if I wasn't having enough fun marching around in poo.
Who's this? Maybe Father Martin's man. Maybe. He looks nervous. I would like to kill him. As would I. The preacher asked us not to. It would be impolite. Not here. We give him a running start. There's an idea. And when we kill him, we kill him slow. Such patience. I want his tongue. And liver. They are yours.
Amidst all the screaming and yelling going on in the game, there's something particularly chilling about calm, quiet voices discussing how they would like to slit open your belly and eat your liver and tongue. The twins are pretty unique characters, and you're given plenty of reason to dread them, given that your first encounter sees you safe behind a gate in the prison block, but forced to listen as they go into great, but very polite detail on how they'd like to kill you. You know at that point that fighting them won't be like fighting other inmates, and it isn't. As much as I respect their decision to run around naked, there's a tactical advantage to this as they're almost completely silent as they hunt you. Their scariest moment is when they manage to corner you in a very narrow corridor, and you're forced to think fast and climb out a window, clinging to a ledge in order to escape. My heart was beating very fast at that point. It's not so bad though, apparently we all end up good friends in the end. Skipping to the end game now, but it eventually transpires that Outlast's real big bad is a ghostly looking entity called the Wall Rider. Which is actually made up of tiny little nanomachines, but never mind, don't get caught up worrying about the science of that. It's the reason why everyone in the asylum is in a murdery mood, and it's at its scariest when it's making small little appearances around the asylum courtyard. Before you really know what it is. But in the labs, it shows you how dangerous it really is by killing Chris Walker, the massive brute who's been stalking us pretty much the entire game.
Little pig. No more escape.
This thing is really not messing around. It also makes an appearance in the Whistleblower DLC, where, if you're after even more gruesome moments, you might be interested in learning about Eddie Gluskin.
Darling.
AKA your groom. But anyway, that's another story. Do you agree with our scary moments, or are there others you would have included? Let us know, and as ever, if you enjoyed this video, do give it a like and a subscribe for more from Eurogamer. Bye!